thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras here with ILTV's Morning Briefing.
The 4 victims of yesterday's terror attack in Jerusalem are being buried today. The 4 were identified as Yael Yekutiel, 20, Shir Hajjaj, 22, Shira Tzur, 20, and Erez Orbach, also 20. Tzur and Orbach were also American citizens. Tzur, from Haifa, was a graduate of the Re'ali High School and had American-born parents. Her funeral took place at Haifa's military cemetery. Orbach, the eldest of 6 brothers, lived in Alon Shvut and graduated from Neve Shmuel Yeshiva High School. He holds U.S. citizenship through his mother, Karen Sadok Orbach. His funeral was scheduled for 11 o'clock this morning at the cemetery in Kfar Etzion. Yekutiel leaves behind her 2 parents, a brother and a sister. Her funeral was held at the military cemetery in Kiryat Shaul. Hajjaj, one of 4 sisters, was a graduate of the Ort Dekel Vilnai High School in Ma'ale Adumim. Her funeral took place at the military cemetery on Mount Herzl in Jerusalem. 15 others were wounded in the attack near Jerusalem's Armon HaNetziv promenade, including 2 seriously and 3 moderately. The White House, State Department, Pentagon, the EU, and a number of U.S. senators all condemned yesterday's terrorist attack in Jerusalem, extending condolences to the families of the victims and wishes for a full recovery for those wounded. The White House called it horrific, while the State Department said that the U.S. condemns the glorification of terrorism now or at any time. European Union Foreign Affairs Chief Federica Mogherini issued a statement condemning the attack as well as any praise or incitement for terrorist acts. French Foreign Minister Jean-Marc Ayrault issued a statement saying that in this painful moment, France stands, as always, in solidarity with Israel. It places itself on Israel's side in its fight against terrorism and for securing its safety. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau tweeted that Canada stands firmly with Israel in condemning today's horrific terrorist attacks. And the UN Special Coordinator for the Middle East Peace Process, Nikolai Mladenov, also took to Twitter to express his outrage, saying the attack must be condemned by all, absolutely no excuses, no justifications. Not everyone condemned yesterday's attacks, however. Hamas, the Palestinian Islamist terror group in Gaza, held a rally praising the truck ramming that killed 4 young Israeli cadets. Supporters on the streets handed out candies and sweets to passerbys. Hamas leader Fatih Hamad said, quote, "The message of our Islamic party Hamas is a message of encouragement and support for every jihadi who carries out an attack that puts an end to the acts of the Zionist enemy," end quote. Hamas is an internationally recognized terror organization and regularly praises all who carry out attacks against Israelis. Fazi Barhoum, a spokesperson for Hamas in Gaza, said Hamas congratulates the, quote, "brave attack." The car ramming, which was reminiscent of the attacks in Berlin and Nice not long ago, was the deadliest Palestinian attack in Jerusalem in months. Terrorist street assaults over the past year have killed at least 37 Israelis and 2 Americans. In a candid camera moment caught by Al Jazeera investigations, a senior political Israeli embassy worker was caught saying he was stationed in the UK to, quote, "take down British Foreign Minister Alan Duncan, who has been very critical of Israel." The video of embassy worker Shai Masot was filmed last October in a London restaurant where he met with Maria Strizzolo, an aide to Conservative British MP Robert Halfon. The Israeli ambassador in London, Mark Regev, has apologized, with the spokesman releasing a statement rejecting the remarks made as completely unacceptable. Masot's term of employment was subsequently terminated, and Strizzolo has also resigned from her post. A spokesman for the British Foreign Office confirmed that it was clear the comments made by Masot were not representative of the views held by the Israeli embassy, and that the UK has a strong relationship with Israel, and we consider the matter closed. New details of a corruption probe against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu continue to emerge. The latest leaks say Netanyahu and his family were treated to lavish meals worth tens of thousands of shekels that were financed by an Australian businessman close to the Prime Minister. According to a report by Channel 10 News, Australian billionaire James Packer is among a number of wealthy benefactors who paid for gourmet meals for the Netanyahus at their family villa in the seashore community of Caesarea. A Channel 2 report said last week that Israeli Hollywood producer Arnon Milchan had for several years gifted Netanyahu with cigars worth tens of thousands of shekels and Sarah Netanyahu with expensive champagne. Channel 2 also reported that Netanyahu had on 3 occasions in 2014 asked U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry to intervene on Milchan's behalf in order to renew a long-term visa for the film producer, which was arranged.
That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.